Double, double, talk that trouble. Hex offenders in your bubble. Christian cackling, Shannon got receipts. Mean queen sweeping up the deadbeats. Black nails, big laugh, side eye, deep cut. Name in the jar if you acting like a put. Circle cast tight, mic in the middle. One wrong move, you a roast, not a riddle. They stir, they spill, they drag, they drag. Whole damn flock in a toe tag bag. Offenders, yeah, they came to fry your vibe. From the broom to the group chat live. Hex offenders, if you fake, better duck and dive. Hot tea pouring, can't survive. Hex offenders. Offenders, they like that candle talk, that smack. Turn your soft flex straight into a clap back. Which tips hit list, laugh till they cry. Sweet on the real ones, cursed if you lie. Cauldron on boil, that gossip steam. Every bad ex get tossed in the cream. You did dirt, better hope they forget, or end up headline of the episode's Hex offenders. Yeah, they came to fry your vibe. From the broom to the group chat live. Hex offenders, if you fake, better duck and dive. Hot tea pouring, can't survive. Offenders. Hex offenders. Hex offenders.
Hello, everyone.
Greetings, everyone.
Is this just like not the worst fucking day? I'm trying to like get this. I got so
Yeah, we've Gen X in particular, we've been hit pretty hard the last 2 days between Dolly and Tim Curry. It's not been a good time.
plus on top of everything else, like my technology is just not my friend at the moment, and I don't know. Trying to get the focus. I've got this great, supposedly great camera, but it's just not doing what I need. You know what I mean? It's like just really, I don't know. It's just horrible. And I wish this.
I think it does too much is what the problem is.
The other thing is this chair is supposed to come up a lot higher than it does. I'm gonna have to get. No. A little better. Oh, all right. Oh, okay. This just came up. I'm assuming that train shit is you. I can't seem to stream to Facebook. Hex Old World Witchery.
Yeah, it's going to the other Facebooks, just not that one.
I don't know why. Why is everything today? I don't know. It's not playing. Let me try to send it again. It's just been one nightmare today after another. I mean, just waking up to the Tim Curry thing.
Yeah, Lindsay, everybody talks about it coming in threes, and that's what we were talking about earlier. Who's going to be number three?
Isn't there already a third? Who's the other one?
Yeah, I'm not sure who it would be.
No,
I know who everybody wants it to be.
No, it was Sam Neill or. It's always like everyone in my life just does not fucking understand. I have a show on Wednesday, so this is the day everybody decides to be like a drama and an issue and a problem and a whatever. And like, so I don't have like the time that normal people would have to like prepare for the show. That, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's so bad. I don't know what to do. Like I'm at my wit's end. And it's like, I don't even like. I can't get this adjusted, and I don't know. Like it's horrible. Everything is horrible. I cannot stream to Hex. I don't know why. Now everything is crooked on this camera. It's like something weird is going on. Hold on.
Not to mention, we're both going into the busiest season of our lives, always.
Yeah, I just like, how is this so crooked and I'm not crooked?
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, you're straight and the fireplace is crooked.
I don't know. I've never seen this happen. Like, how can that be?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, Roxy, that definitely was our third.
I'm going to turn off the camera and sort of pray something changes, turning it back. I hate to do my tech supporting during, like, you have no idea what it's been like. Well, you probably do. But it, like,
I do. I'm right in there with you.
literally everything that, like, people decide to always pick Wednesday to be like, and now the thing is, hold on, it went back to autofocus, and I don't know why it's not saving. I'm just gonna buy.
Well, I just heard that about the Shelley Fabrez. I didn't know about that until literally just prior to us going on the air. I didn't see that she had passed as well. I'm not sure what the circumstances were with her.
Who passed? Is anyone going to tell me?
Oh yeah, Shelley Fabrez.
I don't even. Oh, somebody else sent me that. I've never even heard of this person.
Oh, really?
Hold on. When I turn the camera off, the autofocus turns back on and doesn't go back to stay manual focus. Why didn't the camera settings save? Should I just get a new camera? Like, this thing is horrible. Like, I paid so much for this camera. Like, I know. Look at how everything behind me is crooked. Like, I'm just so confused.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense how you can be straight, but your background is crooked.
How is it now?
That's better. So yeah, hopefully we're done and we don't wake up to any more tomorrow.
This has just been the worst day. I don't even know. It's been horrible. Like, absolutely horrible. I don't know what to do. It's like, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off all emails and everything on Wednesday entirely, because it's like, this is the day everyone decides they want to play fuckity fuck duck fuck. And like, everything's got to be fucking miserable. I was really hoping this chair would come up higher, but it's not. So this backdrop isn't working. I really want a better podcast background, but I had to come in here because for whatever reason, no matter what I do with this friggin' microphone, no matter what I do with this microphone, it picks up like if Brian walks barefoot, it will pick up the sound. And I don't know why. So I came into this room because in my bedroom, the only thing I can do is use the green screen. And I don't really want to use the green screen because it's just, it's not real looking. And I don't necessarily like this background all that much, but I may just buy a whole new queen size bed and make more room in my bedroom because I don't have the space. I'm going to have to figure something out, obviously. So who else is dead? We got Sam Neill, we got Dolly. God, the gays, we're all just in absolute horror. And then there was some you know, I'm not saying it's because they're non-binary that they randomly drop the N-word on black people and whatever these non-binary people seem to do. But today's non-binary horror story was the person that, what was it? And that it was the name of the account is Non-Binary Wildflower. And this person has decided that they're not sad that Dolly Parton's dead because blah, blah, this, that, and everything else. Like there was a whole list of, apparently at the Dixie Stampede, there was two bathrooms and there was a black sign on one saying Southerners and a yellow sign on the other saying Northerners. So the loony lefties decided that this was separate bathrooms for black and white people, as though there's no black people in the North and that black people are yellow. And if you're going by colors, well, if you're really saying that those bathrooms were about race, well, then wouldn't that mean black people and Asian people? Because there was no white sign, there was a yellow sign, and there was a black sign. Apparently, these white social justice, non-binary fat allies with dissociative identity disorder, autism, and 10% indigenous DNA decided that this was racist. So yeah, it's really kind of horrifying to me that
how anyone can find something negative to say about Dolly after all she did. She definitely shared her wealth. She had cause after cause that she supported. A lot of times she gave money and supported things without absolutely any fanfare. We'll probably never know how much she really did because there's a lot of stuff that wasn't even brought to the public's attention that she provided for and supported.
She didn't tell people. I think it was 2023 that it was 2023 that the hell was it? Excuse me. It was 2023 that I think she told Andy Cohen on his show that the 10 million she made in royalties from Dolly Parton's, from Whitney's version of I Always Love You, she used to open offices and create jobs in a very black neighborhood. Now, I'm going to tell you what I've been seeing on my socials. I don't know about y'all, but literally every other reel that I see on Facebook is a black person, mostly black women, absolutely gushing over Dolly Parton. Like, I don't think I ever heard this much praise for Tina Marie. You know what I mean? She was always invited to the cookout, as they say. It's she was one of those that was very much embraced by the black community. But I've never seen anything like this. I mean, even that crazy I don't know if you know that lady speech. Like she was really kind of insane. And she's like, well, some of what Dolly Parton did was problematic. It's like, why do you even need to mention that whore? But like, but she did say, Dolly walked the walk. But it's like, first of all, if Dolly Parton is not getting into heaven, nobody is.
Right.
I mean, I don't believe in heaven, obviously. But like, I'm just saying, if she ain't a good example of a human being, nobody is. We're all fucking far down from her. It's like, I cannot believe that. Well, I mean, I remember Brian used to tell me not to get upset about the haters because when Robin Williams died, there was a Facebook group with 3,000 people saying, I'm glad Robin Williams is dead. And it's like, well, okay, that's really fucking disturbing.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're in sort of segueing into the topic, becomes part of the problem here of public opinion, because not only, does everybody think their opinion is God and that everyone should listen to it, whether it's about that Warren Museum in Salem or whatever else, or non-binaries rule the world. Oh, that was the other thing this whore said, was Dolly Parton said that non-binary people were fashion. It's like, first of all, that wasn't what she said, and it was 2019, and non-binary really wasn't a thing in 2019.
No,
Jeffree,
that's a direct result of COVID.
Oh, Jeffree Star said it. Everybody hated him for it, but he's 1,000%. He's 10,000% right. Like everybody and their mother was suddenly non-binary. Whereas in 2019, it was not this huge thing. It just wasn't. It wasn't, and it is very much a social contagion. It just is. There's a very big difference between trans people and that. I mean, I'm not saying some people aren't gender fluid. That's always existed, but as it becomes now this political state, how you can tell is people that are having questions about their gender. That's the question. But when you see that it automatically comes with dissociative identity disorder, far left politics, autism, 10% indigenous DNA, 5% Romani ancestry, and there's this constellation. Like when it isn't just, like Penny Cabot is non-binary, that's how she sees it, but it doesn't come with this constellation of things. Like when you see the constellation of things, that's when this is a mental illness statement, or to be like it's not a real. It's just I want to belong, so let me add as many boxes I can tick onto the list. Not that I'm actually questioning my gender, and that's when you're going to see. Well, I'm not sad that Dolly Parton's dead. First of all, Dolly Parton had a non-binary person in that. That Heartstring series that was on Netflix. Did anybody see that?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
There was because that's where I heard the term nebbling, and I was making fun of it. Like there was one episode of that series where the non-binary person didn't want to be called a niece or a nephew; they were a nebbling. I mean, for Dolly Parton to make sure that it got called a nebbling, I mean, I'm not calling you a fucking nebbling. Like if you either my nephew or my niece, or you ain't. Like I'm just not calling you a nebbling. Like if you say I have to call you a nebbling, well, okay. If I have to, I just won't call you anything. I will just ignore your existence because it's retarded. But blessed be Angela. Hello. So I'm not going there. And if people don't like it, I don't care. I don't need to talk to them. But but Dolly Parton made sure to have the nebbling word in there. So if she's like the great transphobic Dolly Parton, well, what are the rest of us?
And that's just preposterous. She was always so supportive of like drag queens and everything else. She entered a drag contest one time. Like that, she was always supportive of different communities. She never came out against a particular community.
No. I think what people didn't like is they wanted her to take this huge position. And she's part of a different. Okay. I think this person must have blocked me because when I go to see their post, I can't see it anymore. That person that, said all this about Dolly Parton. Well, that's really annoying. Well, I probably shouldn't have commented and called her a Riri. Wait a minute. What is it? Non-binary wildflower. Let me go up under a different thing. Now, Storm Sestavani's trying to tell me that this person's probably a paid person or whatever. I mean, I see where he's coming from, but that's such a cop-out. Like everyone that says something ridiculous must be a bot. And yes, I get there are these sort of pot-stirring bot types, but there's also fucking freaks. And yes, there might be more of them on the left, but I'm not going to blame the left. I'm going to blame Ronald Reagan. Because Ronald Reagan cut all the money to the mental hospitals in the 80s. And didn't you say you were a nurse or something? And changed the game because, suddenly we have a massive homeless problem of people that really should be under medical care or psychological care. And we've got non-binary, dissociative identity disorder, multiple personality, autism, 10% indigenous, 5% Romani, and, some form of malady. I thought Jodie Cabot was the queen of the melodies back when back in the day, but and Angela knows what I'm talking about, but I've never seen anything like today. Let me look up this non-binary wildflower. I'm surprised I haven't got this like crusade from the non-binary people right now. I have nothing against it, intrinsically. I have something against the disingenuousness of it. You know what I mean? Like it's are you really having complexities in your gender, or are you just trying to be on every bandwagon there is? And I do think there's a difference. Like this person going, just found out that Dolly Parton doesn't believe in non-binary identities, calling them fashionable. First of all, since 2019, she had a non-binary character on her television series. Oh my God. So now they're saying, so I just learned about the phrase, I'm not touching you racism. It's when a white person thinks that touching anyone from the BIPOC community is dirty. What? I don't think I've ever heard this. One of the criticisms is privilege. How she uses philanthropy to hide.
Hide what?
Well, she tends to hide her philanthropy.
Yeah, she was very quiet about the move she made.
She's never bragged about it. Like,
no, that was not her motive.
I wish these idiots would understand. Because, look, I might pick on the far left, and God, do I love doing it. But I really hate the fascism of the far right even more. But the way the pendulum works is our system is designed to send people to the other side of whatever. You know what I mean? Like if we're all experiencing the worst qualities of something, we rush to its opposite. And so every time some middle of the road voter turns on their computer and sees some fucking retard, 400 pounds, pink hair going on about their gender and Dolly Parton's evil, they're like, well, maybe Trump's not so bad. You know what I mean? That's exactly logically what happens. And then they got to go find out for the next few years just how bad he is. But that's just how the brain works. It's like I've always called it the pendulum effect. It's like this idea that we are driven to the opposite of the thing that we don't like. And
well, I mean, you and I have talked about the whole horseshoe politics thing in depthly, and the more and more we go on, the horseshoe is closing. We're almost at a circle.
Yeah, and it's strangling all of us in the middle. Oh, shout out to Amani. It's her birthday today. I do have to figure out. I wish I could make comments bigger. Apparently not. I don't know. I can't seem to. It's like a font size, text size. Oh no, Jesus.
Yeah.
Not what I want. I was trying to make the chat comments bigger, but I guess there's no way to do that for us people. Oh, this works, I guess. I hear getting an echo. No, I'm not hearing an echo. Who's here? Where's the echo?
I'm not catching an echo at all. It's really clear.
Pendulum effect would mean after fascism, socialism is the right. Well, of course, that's how it's going to be. It always goes back and forth. And those of us that have common sense and don't live on the extremes of dumb fuckery, get hit by that fucking pendulum every time it fucking swings. And it's very irritating. Like it really is. I mean, there's certain aspects to a social, I'm not a socialist, but I like some of those, places like Finland or whatever, but, it's a bit different to think something that works in Finland, where you've got a much smaller scope of people and, is going to work at scale here, especially when I don't know what people in Finland are like, but they don't want to work here. Like, they don't want to work. Like, I don't understand how half of these don't want to work people are socialists, because they don't understand. Find me the Socialist Party of most countries and tell me the name of it. Like, it often is what? Socialist workers, something. The word workers is in there.
It's always in there, yes.
I was in a Chinese restaurant. I think, Angela, were you with me when I did this? I think Angela might have been with me. And I was like asking the waiter, because, he looked like he wasn't here long. And I was like, what do you, I said, do you have fibromyalgia in your homeland? And he was like, I don't know what that is, and I was like, well, I said, it's, usually you're 400 pounds and you ache when you walk upstairs, but it has nothing to do with the fact that you're 400 pounds. It's, because of this invisible disease that no one can diagnose. Oh, no, we don't have that. We go to work. I said, oh. I said, what about Tourette syndrome? Angela, were you here for, I would swear she was there for the, and I was like, well, what about Tourette syndrome? I don't know what that is. And I'm like, well, is when somebody goes like, fucky, fuck, cunt, fuck, meh. Oh, no, we don't have that. We go to work. And I'm like, oh, well, you probably have it, but you put those people like in basements and you never hear from them again. And he's like, these so-called socialists, and, they wouldn't last 5 fucking minutes in a communist country where they actually had to show up. Like, you don't get a choice. Like, they wouldn't last 5 fucking minutes in an actual socialist country. Ain't gonna happen. There was a Chinese medicine man to make the perfect tea cure. Oh, Angela, I've been with you when you've done a lot of things. Oh, I've been horrible. I remember when the owner of Fantasy Island sat me down and said, my daughter say you speak in Chinese accent on microphone. I used to go in the back on the little kitchen microphone. I'd find out whose orders were coming up, and I'd go, order 42, ready now. And they'd run and nothing was ready. The things we used to do, I could never get away with any of this. Like, I shouldn't be able to get away with it now, but who's going to cancel me? Like they don't try, but it just doesn't seem to work. And I kind of like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have no issue with Asian people. I think I was. Like, I was probably Genghis Khan. I think that, well, because if you notice, everybody was either some famous.
Yeah, they were Cleopatra, or they were.
They were Cleopatra, they were a Civil War soldier, or they were a French scullery maid. Like, nobody was ever in the SS. Nobody was like peeling the skin off of people. In my former life, I flayed Jews alive, and that was my, what I mean? Like, nobody was that. Where did those people go? Somebody, Armani said, I have nothing. Oh, she said, oh, she's not non-binary, she's non-bionary. Is that like, like you're not bionic? It's like Jamie Summers and then Steve Austin and then the rest of us that are non-bionary. Because I'm non-bionary. Like, no, that's not true. I had my finger broken. I had to have a little, well, it's not bionic, but there's a little piece of metal in there. So I'm not non-bionary. So this topic, I've had Claude doing some research. What the hell? Who is this person? Who's Lux Lady Crystal? They have the Downs from incest. I Googled that Monday. Who has the Downs?
Ooh.
Well, Moira. She definitely has the Downs. Like, I call her Mongo Moira. That weird TikToker that was going on about your candles being.
I know. I'm still mad about that.
Now she's going on about the LaLaurie house.
I know she's done like this 87-part series about it's like it's some of it.
She's mad. She's mad that whoever owns the house is giving these private tours inside the house.
It's their house. It's their house. It's their property. They own it.
She's mad because she can't fit through the front door. She wanted to go. She couldn't, you have to be this small to ride this ride. And apparently she couldn't fit through the gate. So, what can you do? Let me just see here. What's Claude saying about this topic?
Yeah. Well, the first thing that I jumped on about it, and obviously there's a lot of history of this happening even prior to TikTok, but it is this whole Lindsay Clancy hearing that's going on. Actually, I think the jury is literally out right now as we speak. I think the jury's debating right now, so they're probably going to have some kind of an answer tonight or tomorrow. But not to get too much on a tangent of the case, but she unfortunately strangled her 3 children, and her defense, and the defense that her attorney is saying, is that she had postpartum like depression or / psychosis, or a combination of both. And so the whole debate going on is, should she be held responsible, or is this a, not guilty by reason of insanity plea? And then, of course, the internet, being the internet, particularly TikTok, you've got all these people running around saying, oh, the husband did it. And this woman has full on admitted that she's done it. The husband wasn't even home when it occurred. And bottom line is, we're not the judge, we're not the jury, we're not in the courtroom. Let's wait and see what the verdict is. They obviously have protocols in place where they look at evidence. And again, not to mention the fact that the woman full on admits that she did it. But you've got this whole gaggle out here talking about, she's innocent, and they're cursing the husband, they're hexing the judge, and they're doing all these justice spells. And how are we the judge and jury? We're not in the courtroom. Why is it upon us to make this call before?
Why is it that every time we invent a new malady in society, everybody and their fucking mother suddenly has it? I don't remember postpartum depression when I was a child, or hearing about this, or, now it's like everyone has it. Everyone's autistic. Everyone is, Romany, everyone is indigenous, everyone is non-binary, everyone's got fibromyalgia. Like, I get these things probably do exist. Probably. I just don't understand how the moment they discover it, everybody and their mother's got that in the excuse card ready to whip out, like, a tarot card. And it's like, well, if you fucking strangled your baby, you either go,
you need to be
you go to jail, or if you're too cuckoo, which you probably are, if you strangled your baby, you go to a place that Ronald Reagan cut all the funding for in the 80s. Do they at least have, okay, so we know that Reagan cut the cuckoo farm like money in the 80s, but did he cut all, like, is there still like a place where
there's still, it's limited. It's nowhere near what used to exist, but there are still like forensic psychiatric centers and different things like that. So yes, she very well could get sentenced to a situation like that, which again, that's consequences of the actions. I don't know why you would just let somebody walk free, that regardless of whether she was in her right mind or not, she still took the lives of 3 children.
If you're
not safe to be
trying to eat your baby, or something like that, or pimp them out on the black market at 4 years old, or you either belong in fucking jail or you belong in the cuckoo farm. And most of these TikTokers belong in the cuckoo farm, because I look at Moira. And I know, I look at her and I think she must have already eaten a baby or 5. I don't know. But I mean, I know her parents were, probably allegedly brother and sister. I don't know how. I mean, isn't that how? I mean, there's people that have Mongos that, I'm so totally going. You should see my Facebook feed is so bad. Like it must know I'm horrible because I've got like dancing Siamese twins and their friends smack me. Got this other one that goes up with weird spider arms that extend out way beyond their body, and it's not AI, and it's like I don't even know. Like basically, Facebook has decided I'm an absolute sicko, and it sends me, all that. I'm still gagged that Casey Anthony got acquitted. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, totally.
Like
totally
I
crazy.
remember, what's her name there? Nancy Grace. The devil is dancing tonight. Remember her? What happened? Why is she not big anymore? Like I really liked her.
Here's the thing. Like I said, we are not, even though like parts of it are being televised or whatever, we are not in that courtroom. We're not the judge. We're not the jury. We haven't seen all the evidence. We don't know what's going on. And the bottom line is the husband is not on trial. At no point in this whole circus is he on trial. He was never charged with anything. He is not on trial. So why is it collective before anything's even come out of the verdict?
Oh, I had somebody on my wall when I started talking about the Warren Museum going on about, Ed Warren was a pedophile and all this. And, mind you, half of these people worship Raven Grimassi, who also married a 15-year-old girl. I mean, Lori Bruno, when she was mad at him, she had somebody post his marriage certificate to a 15-year-old. It's okay for him, but not Ed Warren. And mind you, this was all in the 60s when I'm not excusing it, but it was a different time. Does that train ever go away? Aren't trains supposed to move somewhere along the track? Is it not on a track?
Yeah, it's on the track.
Why is it still there 20 minutes later?
It's a long train. Seriously, I'm close to the GM plants, and that's what it's delivered and picking up from the GM plants. So.
I'm blowing up I can make the chat bigger so I don't have to keep leaning in on it. So like, I don't know. I mean,
okay, here's the thing. If you or I or everybody, again, as a collective, if we believe that hexing works, which most of us do, if we believe it works, shouldn't you require more evidence before you hex someone instead of less? Wouldn't that be ethical?
How about talent? As opposed to these delusional people that think they might be. How about talent? And then, how about ethics, like you say? How about discretion? Because like this woman came on my wall and they're like, Ed Warren. And there were NDAs for the movies that they were not allowed to portray him in a negative light sexually or, cheating or anything like that, which means he must have done something. First of all, I've never cheated on my husband. There's lots of things I've never done. And if they ever made a movie with me, I'd want 20 different stipulations because I wouldn't want them to bring up every horrible thing ever said about me that isn't true. I mean, I literally have been accused of, in the court of pagan public opinion, of everything from murder to pedophilia to raping women, raping men, animal abuse, murdering animals, tax evasion, Satanism, cultism, like literally every crime but bestiality. So if you're ever mad at me, complete my bingo card and say I fucked a goat in the woods. So like, if I'm to believe the rumors about Ed Warren based simply on the conjecture of he had the movie company do NDAs, well, then I have to, by rights, believe every horrible thing said about me. So not only do I not see myself as judge, jury, and executioner without evidence, I also don't really want to have that much of an opinion without evidence. You know what I mean? Like, the evidence is this woman said, I strangled my fucking children. She admitted to it. Some of that echo's coming in again. Let me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she needed help, and I agree that the system failed her. and all those things, and she needs to be provided with the help that she needed, but that you still don't get a pass. You took human life, 3 little ones. That doesn't give you a pass.
No, it's terrible. But what really gets me is these people, now they're cursing the judges and they're cursing the jury and, trying to. And first of all, this public hexing is so, thank you, South Park, for giving me this word back. It's retarded. It is. Like, I remember, who was it that did the Trump thing? Was it Billy Idol? I don't know. Oh no, it was that what is her name? I don't know. She's like the symbol of all people on Tumblr. I mean, good music. Lana Del Rey. Yeah, I do think she's incredibly overrated, but Lana Del Rey, wasn't it her that, I think it was her that did the whole Trump curse. I hate to say it, Angelo, but witchcraft gives witchcraft a bad name these days. Yeah. I wish there was a way. I thought there was a way of popping. Oh, there is. Open a new window. Hold on. Oh, this is great. Okay, hold on. I got this. Okay, so I can actually. Well, I don't want to do this. I want to. Well, that's really weird. It's in its own window. This just really, so what is the point if I can't blow up the one window? You are echoing. Let me just turn you off for a second. Echo, 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 echo. Oh, it was echoing really bad a second ago. I don't know what's going on. We got to fix your sound.
I don't have anything on, and I have my headphones on.
I don't know, but something's going on. What is the point of this? So I'm going to try. Just really.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, public hexing is ancient. The Romans and the Greeks took it to the gods. They had tablets that they publicly hexed people on for sometimes such small things as like stealing clothes from public bath and different things like that. Archaeologists have found a lot of tablets and references to this. So obviously as a society, hexing isn't new, but again, I just feel that sometimes it's bandwagonish, for want of a better term, because everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, hexing something, and we don't know the details. We don't know all the information.
Sorry, I just realized that I can put the chat in a separate window, but if I try to blow it up, it also blows up the main window, which is really fucking disturbing. I mean, you would think that it would be
exactly, Mary. This is something that I try to stay away from politics on the show, but I'm going to use one example really quick. Okay, when Brett Kavanaugh, that was in was it 2016? No, it was 2018. Sorry. When he got his Supreme Court confirmation, that Caitlin Brooks, she hosted a public ticketed. It was ticketed. She sold tickets, a public event for a hexing ceremony for him. Now, again, I don't want to get into politics. I try to stay away from it. But again, where did that money go? She pocketed it. She profited off of it. It was a big performance. It was and whether you agree with him being appointed or not isn't the point. The point of it is okay, she didn't give that money to charity. She didn't help homeless people with it. She didn't help people that would have suffered under his decisions with it. She pocketed that money. It was a big performance. It was a big circus sideshow.
And who was this?
Brett Kavanaugh. Remember when he got appointed? It was
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that came through when I asked, what was it, Claude, to, this is so weird. When I asked Claude to do this research on, what do you call it? The hexing sort of thing. And here's my take on it. Like, there's certainly people I would love to hex. I've literally sat there like Howard Stern and wished people cancer. But if I'm actually going to curse somebody with cancer, which I never actually have done, technically speaking, and I realize I probably shouldn't say it either, but, such is life. Sorry. I'm trying to, oh my God. This is just like so miserable. It's just been the technological nightmare day. So anyhow, the problem with the hexing, the old four corners of the pyramid or whatever, the to know, to dare, to will, to keep silent. The old thing. I don't talk about magic until it's done and it's worked. And even then, I don't, as a rule. Once in a great while, if I'm trying to teach somebody something, and I'll say, here's an example of when magic worked and how. And sometimes they, hello, on Ghost Adventures, they had light shooting out of my hand. So, not much I can do about that. However, why can I not see the new? God, I just having so many technical fucking problems today. I just like scream. So magic is energy. We all have the power to manipulate that energy. We all have the power to draw from within, draw the energy of the universe, draw things to us, manipulate that energy, send it back out. But so does everybody else to some degree. Maybe they don't understand the technology. At one point, Lori Cabot and I were talking, she was supporting the binding of Trump. And I thought, well, I don't know. I mean, it sort of goes against what she always used to teach. But she said, well, they don't understand, the science of witchcraft and how to use it. I said, well, be that as it may, I don't know that they need to. Because, remember the Trump binding on Twitter? I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet that less than 500 of these behemoths actually lit a candle. Yeah, millions of people retweeted it, but how many of these actually?
It was all performative, and look what I did, and
right. But here's the thing. If some pastor rallies the 15,000 people in his megachurch that are stuck in the seats listening to him, and it's not like it's not as performative. Yes, people can pretend to speak in tongues, blah, 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 whatever. But they're more likely, and I've sat in an evangelical church before and watched the people all joining in, and most of it was not performative. They were very much in alpha. They were very much in an altered state of consciousness. They were generating magical energy. They didn't know that. They wouldn't have called it that, but that's what they were doing.
No.
So if this with 15,000 people in the megachurch says, here, pray against this Trump curse, that's 15,000 people doing magic versus the 500 fatties on Twitter that actually lit a candle. Most of those people tweeting, I did this to Trump, didn't actually do it. So
Right. The 15,000 people were raising that energy, and they did what they said they were doing.
well, guess what? He's still president. Look how that worked.
Yeah.
You know, look how that worked. You know, if this magic was so great, where's the magic? Well, it's because because that's not how you do it. I mean, yeah, I get the Greeks did it. I mean, the Greeks and the Romans pre-Christian banned magic, or they severely curtailed it. You know, it was very much underground in some periods of Greek history because they were afraid of it. You know, it's not like the Christians invented the persecution of magic.
No.
They didn't invent that. That was there before.
Yeah.
You know, so it's yeah. And so it's not that I'm against hexing, though I think one must be extremely cautious and ethical. And I'm logging in so I can get to the chat here. But I'm not putting myself on. Oh, Jesus.
No, now we can't hear you.
Well, that's weird. Just give me a moment. I just really want to cry. Is this better? No.
No.
How about now?
Now you're clear.
Okay. I'm trying to get a chat because I'm old. I cannot see. So I'm opening like a new browser that I can blow up, so I can blow up the actual size of the text. Okay. I got what I want. Okay. All right. This is what I want. I'll have to do this weekly. Thank God. No, I don't look my age, but I definitely am processing it. So, by the way, if people want to call in, the URL to call in is join.hexoffenders.live. We do ask that you come on with video, just so that we don't get pranks and weird people. If somebody come on, without video that was uploading pictures of weird, creepy things. And I will do my magic against certain things, but I'm not going, people aren't going to know.
Exactly. And that's the way I was always taught. You didn't discuss your working.
Well, nowadays, witchcraft and magic are so performative. Applehead will post these, really complex Hebrew symbols sprawled all over his floor while claiming to be hoodoo Christian. Oh, now he's a Christian. I'm a good Christian and a witch. And it's like, so of course Llewellyn gives him a book. I mean, not that I would ever want to be published by them. Thalassa Verti, power shared is power lost. Laurie Bruno used to say that. Is that something from the craft? She should call in. But the how many views does the Vessel song have now? Definitely over 1,000. I'm a vessel for the goddess. That was actually me singing. Well, it was me singing that created it. I literally had to sing an entire Streisand's Evergreen in my highest falsetto and vibrato. The soft as love precious morning. And I just can you please make a thing from that voice and make that voice and then make it sing like that. I should do like a sequel. I kind of want to punch up though. Like I want to do something bigger. Like I wanted to do Weekend at Mitch's, but probably already passed. The opportunity is probably passed. Or like, Lindsey Graham hiring hookers in heaven, or you know what I mean? Like what is it? I think his name in his secret name was Lady G. That's what all the hookers called him. The male prostitute. So, it's like Lindsey Graham and the male prostitutes of heaven. Something. I mean, there is always Mortellus. Poor Mortellus.
Oh gosh.
Poor Mortellus. Mongo Moira. I don't think I could get away with Mongo Moira. I was worried of the thumbnail for this week's show. I was worried about the thumbnail. Let me see here. What the hell is it? Thumbs. Oh, of course it's going to be a friggin' WebP that I can't use. The thumb, whereas I was Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog, but I was trying to make a white version, and I just thought there was a little bit of tan in there that I was going to get accused of blackfacing. So I don't know. I was a little nervous, so I had to call Jay and go, Jay, what are they going to say? They're going to, and you both convinced me to do it. But so if I get canceled, you better cancel them too. Oh yeah. No, she's right. Angela's right. Lindsey Graham and the hookers of hell. How about that? Lindsey Graham and hell's hookers. I don't know. And now who else? So they cursed. Who else did they try to curse? Well, me. I don't think there's ever been a public group curse of me. There's been public sort of petitions. And I remember that weird Peter Dybing that used to be on the board of directors of the Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans. And he did this petition on change.org to ban me from the pagan community. And I'm not even a pagan. I don't like the word. So I had all my fans go on there and sign the petition and put, hashtag Team Warlock. And most of the people that signed, there were like 90 something people that signed the petition. Most of them were my fans, basically wanting me to be banned from the pagan community because I'm not a pagan and I don't care. It's like banning me from the Jehovah's Witnesses. It's like, who cares? But yeah, it's, yeah. But I've never had a public curse campaign. I mean, I know lots of people have claimed, I've had people here, there, and everywhere saying, I did this, and he's in a jar in my fucking freezer. I'm probably in more fucking freezers than Sarah Lee. I should get a fucking, I should have my own section in the frozen food. I really should have my own section in the frozen food aisle. Is as told by Callie, is that Callie as in lesbian, the champagne is burned, Callie? I never know. By the way, if you are on YouTube, how come I don't see Angela? I don't know what one Angela's on. Maybe she's not. Oh, Angela's watching from Facebook. By the way, we are going to be giving away a discount code for Hexfest and a discount code for Dark Candles, but only in the YouTube chat. So if you're not watching us in YouTube, you ain't getting, like, we pay people to listen to us. We're afraid nobody wants to hear what we have to say. So we give you a little something, to listen to us prattle on what we fix in the chat. So obviously it was frozen in the bottle at some point. At the moment, I'm enjoying some lovely non-burned champagne and velvet smooth caviar, not the kind you Texas. So I just loved Dynasty. But so HexFest 2027 is on sale. We've changed it up this year. Instead of having an early bird code, every ticket you buy is an early bird. So instead of $350, it's $250 per ticket. We've also, for the first time, eaten the fees. I think they're only like $20. But without my knowledge, there was some federal law passed where, now I'm echoing again. There was a federal, let me just mute you for a second. There was a federal law passed. Yeah, it is you. It's something on your end that's causing it to echo. There was a federal, well, maybe your headset, I don't know. There was a federal law passed that now when a ticket agency has hidden fees or extra fees, they have to be bundled into the total at the beginning. Because I was watching people say the Witch's Ball, which is $200, was $212. It's like, it's not $212. But apparently they now show the fee included. So next year, I'm probably going to eat the fees for those too. Sorry. However, with HexFest, we're eating the fees. Of course, even though the law does not require Eventbrite to do this, they also bundle the taxes in, which is really annoying for us event people because it looks like, so if you go to the HexFest website, it looks like the ticket's $385, but it's $350, and that $35 is the tax. That should be separate. I mean, it does say $385 and then in parentheses, including tax, but the tax, Eventbrite is not required by law. You know, I've actually considered going to a different ticket seller because they bundle in the tax in the total because it's so confusing to people. Because I don't think people mind paying a tax where tax applies. You know, in Massachusetts, they don't tax events. You know, I know you Republicans out there love to think we're against taxes. Louisiana has, it's one of the reddest states in America. They got more fucking taxes than you can shake a stick at. You know, I went with Eventbrite because it promotes its events, but, you know, I don't think it does it like it used to. But we did eat the $20-something fee for the first time. So it is, the tickets are now $350 plus tax, but it's $250 until Halloween. So the end of Halloween night, you get an early bird. It's automatically there at hexfest.com. If you are a returnee, check your junk mail. If you've ever purchased a ticket to HexFest, well, actually, I think you had to have opt-in on emails because if you didn't purchase a ticket to HexFest, if you didn't opt in on emails, then you might not get this. But there is a returnee discount of an additional $50 for returnees. And we're giving away a code on YouTube tonight that will be good for 2 days for an extra $50 off. So you go to the early bird on hexfest.com, you select your ticket for $250, you enter the promo code, and you'll get another $50 off. So you'll get it for $200. And that includes the riverboat. Somebody out there that went to HexFest was like, they charge more for the riverboat than the riverboat costs to go on. And I'm like, well, yeah, we do mark it up because we're not just there on the riverboat. Like if you go on the Creole Queen just to go on the Creole Queen, you know what I mean? They don't have a band necessarily every time. Sometimes they do. A lot of times it's just music and dinner, but they don't have rituals. They don't have magic, and you know what I mean? It's not the same thing going on the boat by itself. You know, and so we you know, it's literally $250 early bird, and you don't have to have a code for the early bird. It's on hexes.com, and sometime this evening I will be giving a code that is for sorry, you know, the $50, additional $50 off. So you're getting a really extra deal. But the early bird is till Halloween night, the end of Halloween night. And if you are a returnee, that discount will work right up until the time of the event. So even if you don't get the early bird, you'll still get $50 off. And it's, we're really, a lot of the people are coming back from last year. We also have Patty Negri, Star Ravenhawk, Goddess Rhonda. There's a few different people coming back that we haven't had for a while. And, we've got, I think Star's going to be teaching on, she's from Jamaica, isn't she from originally? I know she lived,
yeah.
She lived in Canada for about a long time, but she's from Jamaica, so she's doing I don't say it right, but Obia. Oh, I call it Obia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's going to be teaching about that, which I think is really fantastic. I do think it's funny because we got a couple of people saying, "I wish you had more people of color," and which I totally get. It is hard because it's very separatist here in New Orleans, more than you would think it is. And half of the people of color I have coming next year are not teaching that culture; they're teaching European magic. You can't win for losing. I'm trying to get Cinnamon from the Voodoo Museum, but she never gets back to me. It's really hard to wrangle these presenters, you know what I mean? And it's just, I really want more locals and more local culture, but it's very difficult to break through. Like that House of Hoodoo? What was the thing?
Oh yeah. Well, they're closed now.
Right, but I could never get her to call me back. Like I've done everything but walk through the door, which I think I'm going to have to start doing. Like, hi, please come present. I think sometimes it's harder because people are out there saying, we're racist or we're the, like the rumor mill, and then people think, oh, it's sort of like I got called a transphobe by a trans person who I invited to my event knowing she was trans.
Yeah, I'm still not clear on that one.
Right. Mara Starling. Oh, God, is she a fucking freak? See, I'm not misgendering her. In fact, I'm really going to gender her correctly. She's a complete cunt. I committed the great transphobic act of inviting a trans woman to the event. So they wanted to so I said, okay,
I got nothing.
I'm going to invite Budapest. You want to call me a transphobe? I'll bring Z Budapest. Mind you, I don't think Z Budapest. I mean, I think Z Budapest has said things that could be called transphobic, but I think with her, she wants to be in a room full of pussy. That's just what it is. Like if you have a penis, she doesn't care if it's a trans penis or a girl cock or a man cock or a man it's just you. If you are not part of the pussy posse, she don't want you in the room. And it's like, but she's always been that way. Like she was that way long before trans was a big thing. You know what I mean? Then it was, I hate the man. You know what I mean? Like she's always been that way. I mean, I adore her. But I don't agree with everything she says, but I do think she is an icon. I was like, okay, you're gonna sew me the last thing these people, what they never learn, they'll like make me this pointy black villain hat. They'll even custom paint me this green villain car with like the Joker's face on the front of it. And I just make it look great. So if you're going to villainize me, be careful that I don't actually play the villain, because I do it well. That thing Lori Bruno accused me of how long ago, 2015, and I never did. Like our corporation went up $500,000 in a year after that. I mean, I didn't see that money, but still, we generated far more revenue, and she lost her store. And from what I understand, I don't know if she still is, but she was doing her readings out of a restaurant booth at Rockefeller's, and she's gone total Trumpy and QAnon to the point where people are saying her account is hacked, or, it can't really be her, and I almost texted her son. I'm like, because I'm sort of worried about her. Like I have my issues with Lori Bruno, but I don't wish anybody, if they've got
Right.
dementia or something like that, I don't want them to be, spending their last years in a bad place. So I was a little worried about her, but and of course the people, the bandwagoners, like the David Salisburys. We all annoyed with. Can he just go away? Like him, Matt Oren, there's like this whole list of gays that I really want to go away. Because of course David Salisbury was coming into all the Salem groups going on about the Warren Museum, and it's like, you don't even fucking live here, dude.
Right.
Like, what do you do? Why are you here? What are you for? This is a guy. This is a guy. Look, I don't have a problem with vegans unless you're annoying. Like, if you annoy me, I will literally buy 10 cheeseburgers and throw them away. But just don't try to bully me on my cheeseburger, or I'm going to buy 10 of them and throw them away. But, I have nothing against that. But he would dress up as a bloody chicken and he would protest at the KFC. And then my BFF, Hoodoo San Moise that passed away, told me that Salisbury paid him to do, Apollo ritual in Apollo pot with a dead rooster, and they killed the rooster for whatever magical thing David Salisbury needed. And it's like, well, fuck you, cunt. I can't have my 2-piece and a biscuit, but you can kill this rooster in a pot, for whatever pathetic spell you wanted to accomplish with the pot. Like, I just don't understand that. Like, don't be a hypocrite. You know what I mean? Don't tell me. I mean, KFC isn't. Remember when KFC was good?
They used to be, not anymore.
No. Sort of like when McDonald's had the fried pies, and most of them are gone now. Like, I found a couple on Uber Eats that I ordered the pies. I'm like trying to get those fried pies with the lava hut center, and it's just, you can still get them in England, but I don't know. I'm sort of running. Somebody should call in. Salisbury is unbelievable. So, Lady Crystal, because she's sounding a little off the rails tonight. Like some of her commentary on the weirder side. Is that Jamie Lynn Denton? Jamie, have you taken your meds? I'd be living in Beverly. What? What does this mean? I'd be living in Beverly.
I'm not following that one.
I don't know. Lost my housing application? Oh, thank you. Oh God, what is his name? Which, please? I don't remember who you are. I know who he is, but I can't remember who he is. I am Wired. Oh, Lady Lux is Wired. Does she mean white?
I don't know.
Oh, it's Wade. The other one's Wade. The other one's Wirt.
Okay.
So, but this comment, yes. Well, if somebody said I hired, first of all, I don't go to, I almost never, if I need magic to be done, I go to the coven, to the circle, because that's what a coven is. It is a place for the worship and the wisdom and the magic and the celebration and the power. Like, I don't need to go hire somebody, because I don't think anybody I'm going to hire is going to be as zappity-doo-dah as either the New Orleans or the Salem Coven. If anything I can say about my husband, because he's mad that I picked on him a little last week, so let me give him some compliments. First of all, he gives the best blowjobs in history, but there is that. But because I know you all wanted to know that. Don't think you're getting any. But he has such a knack for finding fantastic students with incredible potential for magical power. You know, which is it's just very impressive. You know what I mean? It's really wonderful to see. Oh, DeFazio, if I need magic done, I'm doing it myself or going to the coven as well. Well, exactly. Well, DeFazio, she knows. She's like me. Like, we spent decades looking down at these initiate type witches. And like, for the longest time, she and I were sort of unofficial members of Sean Poirier's coven. I did end up signing my name in his little book. I don't know who has that little, probably Tyson probably has my blood somewhere. Not that it really would help him, but you need more than, you'd need like you need to literally drain the blood out of me for that to matter. But you know, DeFazio was finally like, you know, it was Brian that inspired both of us, you know, not just for his knowledge and his wisdom, of which he has so much, but that understanding of the magical reality and how it works. And it's, you know, because if you're going to do this, and I know all these people are like, I became a witch so I could worship the goddess and explore my vagina with hand mirrors and yarn. That isn't why most people became witches. We all did it because we wanted to cast spells and do things. You know, when we first did it. I'm not saying there aren't those occasional, you know, I wanted to worship my pussy. That isn't why most people did it. We all did it because we wanted to cast spells and make shit happen. And so if you, and even at 56 years old, if I'm, you know, yes, I can worship the goddess. I can, you know, I can honor the old ways without a coven. What I can't do without the coven is add the power to my power. That I can't do. You know, and my attitude was always, if I couldn't accomplish it, if I could accomplish more alone, I would just do it alone. I mean, the great thing about Sean's people were, yeah, most of them were just showing up with Rice Krispie treats and tuna casserole, or it was whatever Schlemiel, you know, said, you know, told people at the bar, come on down to my house, we're having a Sabbath, you know, whatever random alcoholic showed up. But because there were people like Angela, not Angela Bryn, that fucking toadstool with one straggling red hair. Did you ever meet her?
No, I know of her, but I never met her.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She looks like the creature from, what is that movie, Motel Hell? It takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Johnson critters. Like, she literally looks like that redheaded slop from that movie. But no, DeFazio, like, she brought the magic. You know, Leanne brought some. Angela, how much magic do you think Leanne brought? Meaty hook. Tyson is very magical. I mean, I don't think he's as magical as he thinks. You know, I mean, at one point he took credit for Katrina.
Oh God!
Well, because he was mad at Bloody Mary. You saw what happened after we had that fight, Katrina. You know, it's like, dude. I should write his bio. I doubt I'm going to write his bio. I couldn't write it. First of all, he would show up a lot in my memoirs. So the best stories I have about Sean would be in my memoirs. And wait a minute. So when I asked him, how much magic did Leanne bring? A little. Yeah, DeFazio never really liked her. Oh, she was there. Angela, weren't you there when that so I'm still trying to get Gabby Gray to come on the show and talk about whatever sexual impropriety she's allegedly suffered at the hands of Nutless Wonder, along with that Bella Tashian. And yes, I'm sort of outing their story, but you know what? I'm annoyed. I'm doing it because, you know, if they're not willing to stand up for themselves, I'm at least standing up for all the other women that, you know, might not be harassed because they don't want to stand up. But I think Angela was there were you there, Angela, when Wild had that student or whatever it was there, and we were all at the High Top and Potions? I would swear she was there, and the woman's like trying to suck our energy from, you know, the bar. She was like standing 5-10 feet away going, Now she's mad because I said she was retarded. And it's like, look, I get your teacher told you to do that, but I don't know. When I was her age, if Lori Cabot had told me to go into a place and the person was going, You know, if Lori Cabot told me to go somewhere and go, like right in front of somebody, I would tell her to get bent. You know, and I love Lori, but I would never do that. Not at any age would somebody be able to talk me into walking. Oh, so Tafazio was there. That's when you know, I would be like, oh, you know who she reminds me of? I'm dating myself here. Does anybody remember the second invasion of the Body Snatchers? Oh, come on, Shannon.
No, I've never seen it.
Are you fucking serious? With Donald Sutherland, you know, that was when there was the one from the 50s, and then there was one with
right.
What was Meg Tilly that was like, there's nowhere to hide. That was horrible. I never saw the 50s one. Oh no, Callie remembers. Callie remembers when Donald's like, you know, or Karen Allen, and they're going. Nobody. That was fucking. What's her name? Gabby Gray. Like literally that. She was a pod person. Of course, we're gonna make fun of you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get her teacher. You know, now she's doing all these classes on vampires. You know what? I'm so sick of the vampire thing. It's not that I don't believe that you can drain energy from people. I mean, Jesus, just being in a conversation with me can suck half your soul out. I don't even need to light a fucking candle. Just talk to me for 20 minutes and you probably feel like you need a fucking soul retrieval. But it's like, okay, yes, you can drain energy from people. But when someone says they're a vampire, this is what I hear. That I'm this magical hack that has one talent. Because that's just one piece of magic. It's like there's remote viewing, there's, you know, clairvoyance, there's energy projection of various, you know, because psychic is, it's all magic, even psychic, it's magic. You know, it's like these witches that say, I'm not psychic. Well, that's like using a PlayStation with the TV off. Your hand thing might be vibrating the controller, but you can't see or hear what's going on. You're getting your ass kicked. Energy is energy. So magic is the manipulation of energies. And you're manipulating all of this, you know, whether you're draining energy, sending energy, transforming energy, perceiving energy. So when somebody's the energy can, you're literally telling me you have this one fucking talent. You're basically 2 clicks from a squib in Harry Potter. You know, the no magical, the wizarding world people like, what is it? Finch or Flinch or whatever. You know, the little, you know, the guy that, the housekeeper or whatever in Hogwarts, the old guy that was played by the guy that played Walder Frey on Game of Thrones. You know, the squibs, they don't really have any talent. Actually, to answer Wade's question, the late Rosemary Ellen Guiley was a very close friend of mine and Brian's. No, it's not Dobby. It's Finch or Flinch or Pinch or I don't remember. Who was the squib? Hold on. Squib. Who was the squib at Hogwarts that did like maintenance and shit? It's like Finch or Squinch or Pinch. August Filch. Yeah, Filch. Like Felch. Probably don't know what that is, do you?
Yeah, the whole vampire thing in NOLA. Yeah, Anne Rice brought that to New Orleans.
Totally didn't exist before. The Casket Girls weren't vampires. I mean, yeah, you know, people confused. You know, they were like Kalila was telling me, you know, that runs Haunted History Tours, that her vampire tour talks about murders that had a sort of vampiric element to it, but they weren't, you know, actual vampires. Because it's why I won't touch it on the Spirits and Spells tour. I just don't want to be dealing with that. Filch is the caretaker. That's what I meant. Well, maintenance guy. I knew he wasn't the groundskeeper because that's Hagrid. Man killer is a Templar and is native. Oh, okay, I get it. Oh my God, you were fabulous, by the way. And her daughter was just like had this incredible aesthetic. The outfits and yeah, the janitor with the cat, that was Filch. He's a squib. Basically, he was born to a wizarding family in Harry Potter, but he had no actual magical talent. That's what I think of when they think, I can drain energy, but I can't do it. You know, and if you can't drain energy without standing 10 feet away from somebody and being like, you've got to YouTube. You've got to YouTube. Here, hold on. Wait a second. We're gonna. Oh, I guess you can't. Can you be like a video? No. A second here. Hold on. YouTube. Boop, 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 boop. I can't believe I'm really dating myself. Invasion of the Bodies. And there's multiple versions of this movie. So hold on. There we go. Hold on. And I think this is the girl that was in Witches of Eastwick, and also she was one of the girls in There on the hills that a lonely goat herd lay. Oh, what is it? The Sound of Music. Share screen. Select the thing. Okay, how do we present this? Add to stage. And then, does it share the sound though?
I think so.
Okay, let's see. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Gabby Gray. You were there, right? I know Angela was. She's mad. I don't remember calling her a retard to her face. Not that I wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't say anything behind somebody. I think I said something to Wild. I was like, who's this fucking Riri? Like, why are you bringing her to my house? And then I said, I don't want her in my house. Like, none of us did. Because we don't, like, we would some years, we haven't done them in a couple of years because it's a big production. But, you know, we would have a little presenters pool party for the presenters at Hexfest. And, like, that was going to be his +1. And I'm like, I don't want this fucking freak in our back courtyard because, you know, these like, most of the attendees at Hexfest aren't this type of person. You know, they're not those weird drooling suck-ups. Like, we tend to get a really awesome crowd at Hexfest that's like, I mean, I had one person complain that she came alone and she felt like she was on Mongo Moira's page saying she came alone and felt people were very frosty. And I'm like, I never hear that.
No.
First time I've ever heard that, of it being cliquey, because I do hear most of these conferences are very cliquey with their in-hospitality suites where you can't come in this room if you're white, you can't come in this room if you have a vagina, and you can't go in that room if you don't have a vagina. So, you know, I don't have those at Hexes. I mean, I'll ask, oh God, I don't know her real name, but this person, Man Killer here, I know this was her first year, and she came because she heard Nutless Wonder bad-mouthing us, so she wanted to see what all the hullabaloo was about. And I have always heard how people make new friends. And, you know, it's not that kind of drooling crowd. Like, we don't get that sort of thing.
No, it's always been real laid back. Everybody enjoys themselves. We move from conversation to conversation. When
you get that sort of person, that's going to go, you don't want them in your backyard where, this is where the presenters are unwinding, they're getting in connect. A lot of these people present at some more than one festival. So this is, they're reconnecting with people they've known for years and they just want to relax and sort of be out of the fan zone, even though, it's really not. Hexfest isn't that type of event, never has been. But it is like it, obviously I can't have 300 people in my courtyard. But it's like you don't, and we told Nutless we didn't want her there because we knew, like, had she been standing in that courtyard, like she would have ended up in the pool. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have tolerated that. So I was like, I don't want this retard in my backyard. So I can understand. I mean, I'm not saying she may be wonderful now. I don't know, but I do know that she's going to be responsible for any women that are assaulted or in any way damaged by this person. If what I hear is true, I mean, it's all alleged, but I don't know, but if she's really had something happen and she doesn't come forward, and that's the other thing. I get not everybody has the strength to come forward, but if you're going to go telling enough people that I find out about it, obviously she's telling enough people, and Bella Tashian is telling enough people that, I spoke to Bella for over an hour, and I got an earful about how basically she allegedly had the moves put on her in the workplace. And then wife of Nutless, who's all mad because I called her a Cretan and I spelled it wrong. So I spelled it Cretan, like from Crete, the island, instead of Cretin. So then I said crustacean. So then she just, she's going to get into a rap battle with me. So then she does a AI picture of herself as a lobster, which was an improvement, I will say. And but then I just redid my post and said, yes, his perpetual side piece. It's pretty bad when you're the wife and you're the side piece, because she's the side piece. And apparently Bella told me that side piece wanted her fired because she didn't mind that Wild was allegedly banging her in the workplace, but she just didn't want it happening in the workplace, probably because of lawsuits or whatever. I can only theorize because it's all allegedly. However, and I'm not picking on these women that keep their secrets for 30 years. I do think they should come forward because it does help other women. But if they're not really keeping the secret, like if they're running around telling this one, that one, and the other one, but they're not willing to take a stand, well, okay. I don't even know what to say to that, but I do wish they would all come out and take a stand. I couldn't get Michelle Belanger. Juliet's willing to come on. I think she may actually hate them more than I do. But she's willing. I do want to do a whole thing about these Belanger accusations, but we can't get anybody. It's like nobody wants to take this, they'll take a stand across 57 different mini posts on Blue Sky that you have to literally sift through for 2 hours just to get any coherent kind of cohesive message from, but you won't come on and say something. I don't understand. Yeah. What are you doing?
Oh, well, I just kind of wanted to wrap up because we kind of got off on a tangent. I wanted to wrap up what we were talking about before. And I just got a couple little things to finish off with that. So back to the hexing thing. So if you are simultaneously saying that your witchcraft or your magic or whatever you want to call it has the power to affect another person's life. Okay, well, again, we're going back to the ethics then. So if you're all powerful and you can affect another person's life with, you know, your hex that you're throwing out there, and you target the wrong person, that's not inconsequential. And we've seen this again over and over again with these, you know, there's the viral video, and then the reaction, and then they do the judge and jury, and they've, you know, accused this person and had their whole, you know, TikTok trial or whatever, and then something turns around and comes out that the person didn't do anything, or the person wasn't at fault, and there's never an apology. There's never, oh, I made a mistake, I targeted the wrong person. There's never anything said about it. They just move on to the next one that they target.
Well, that was my whole issue with that idiot Kobe Michael. I mean, I give him a little bit of grace because, you know, I think he's part of the Junkie Sarah Brigade. Remember her, that Sarah Ann Lawless, where literally...
Yeah.
I mean, to hear her tell it, you'd think every fucking priest or witch, male witch in the entire pagan magical communities is stuck it in her at one point, you know, against her will. You know, and I'm sure she's got trauma because she wouldn't be that fucking nuts. Well, I don't know that. I mean, maybe she does have sexual trauma, but I mean, the amount of belladonna she was probably rubbing on her pussy, I have no fucking idea what's really going on. You know what I mean? And Kobe Michael, like, he's been pushing Nutless for 2.5 years. He even blurbed the book. And then the Michelle Belanger thing came out. And Penzak dropped Nutless like a hot potato. From what I can see, he hasn't liked a single thing in weeks on Nutless's page. Nutless is no longer on the bill for what is that, Temple Fest. You know, he was taken right off the bill. Kobe Michael suddenly, like, instead of saying I was wrong and Christian was right, now it's they're both terrible. Well, can you not put a non-alleged cunt on the same plane as an alleged sexual predator? Thank you. I'll admit it. I'm a cunt. I'm an asshole. But I'm not a sexual predator. Can we not put me on the equal footing, Kobe Michael, with that person? Thank you. Really. So if you are in the YouTube chat, you're about to get a code that you will be able to use for the next 48 hours for 25% off at darkcandles.com and for $50 off the already discounted early bird price of registration at hexfest.com. So if you are planning to go to Hexes and you didn't get the returnee discount if you've been before or you've never been, then not only can you get $100 off the normal price that takes place after Halloween night, but you can get another $50 off over the next 48 hours if you use that code quickly. So you will get, there's no limit to the code other than the timing, you know, that it's good for the next 48 hours. So this is a great opportunity to get your tickets to Hexfest next year. Oh, and we only have one cabin left on the Magic of the Nile trip, which is 10 days starting January 7th. And so the Magic of the Nile trip, January 7th. And we have a person in a room with a twin bed situation that's willing to share her room. So if you want to share, you know, you'll save, you know, you'll be able to pay what you'd have to pay if you came as a couple per person. You know, if you take a room by yourself, there's like a $3,500 single supplement like you normally have on cruise ships. But yeah, we've only got one room left. So this is, and this boat, like, is this boat not the boat?
The boat's epic.
Like, is this boat the boat? You know what I mean? It's like, I almost want to, you know what, I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to get that boat. Give me a second.
All right, well, while he's pulling that up, my final thoughts on what we're talking about. So public hexing has become like spiritual vigilantism. So again, I know that I probably sound Pollyannish. I always try to find the best at everybody and so on and so forth. But why do we always have to come? We get upset about people coming after us as witches and pagans and magical people, and we don't want the crowd with the torches coming after us. But yet, on a dime, we will turn and do it to others. Why do we have to magically decide who the villain is? Why can't we use our magical inclination to say, show me, who's really at fault here? Show me justice for who deserves the justice, not I've decided because I watched this TikTok that this person is guilty, so I'm jumping on the bandwagon. We're getting the pitchforks and the torches, and this is who we're going after, based on nothing more but hearsay or judgmental, excuse my language, bullshit.
I don't talk about my magic. You won't.
Me either.
Like, so for me,
I don't show pictures of my altars. I don't show pictures of my workings. I don't discuss what I'm doing unless it is in a situation like you talked about. If it's inside a group or a coven and we're all working towards the same goal.
Well, exactly. Exactly. So, I don't know. I can't believe they don't have anything on YouTube. That's just really freaking annoying. And I don't have an Instagram login, apparently, on this computer. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, I can go there. Oh, here we go.
So yeah, my question to the audience is what would an ethical justice working look like instead? So that's my question to the audience.
Not public.
Yeah.
There's a start. I just think it's a mistake. They think that there's powers in numbers, but if there were, why is the man still in the White House? Why are none of these cursed people? Why am I still here? I mean, hello.
Well, it's just like you talked about at the beginning. If you've got 15,000 people in the mega church raising that energy and elevating that person, of course they're elevated and protected. And the 500 people that, I put them in a freezer, or I put them in a jar, or I did this, or, okay, well, I mean, it's physics. You got canceled out.
Well, basically. And I don't, but that deals with the, what do you call it? That deals with the mechanics of it. But what about the ethics of it?
Which goes back to what I said. We have to make informed decisions. We can't just because we don't like someone or don't agree with them, we don't always know the whole story. I'm not saying sometimes we don't, because sometimes the facts are all there and presented to us. And yes, we do know the ins and outs of it. But more often not, especially in our modern world, we don't know all the details. We're getting something spewed at us by an influencer or a bot or someone who is a paid program or whatever, and we don't know all the details. We're just being fed something, and we're not conscientiously doing the research ourselves and checking the facts and checking on everything that could be brought forward. And yes, this is a really good statement. I like this because, again, that's what justice is all about, is balancing the scales. That's what it totally is about.
Well, I mean, but it's how. And what if you are wrong? You know what I mean? What if you are jumping on a bandwagon and that person isn't really guilty of something? How do you account for that? How do you know what I mean? Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying exactly. Because, and again, in this, as someone who has lived in other countries, and I talk about this often, we don't understand the freedom and the rights that we have. We have the right to say that we don't like who's in power. We have the right to say that we don't agree with them. We have the right to protest against them. You don't have that right in other countries. Even some of these countries that come across as peaceful and la 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 and we're all kumbaya, they don't have those rights. And I've seen that firsthand living in other countries. And most people wouldn't survive in other countries because we take all that stuff for granted. And again, I don't want to get into politics. I'm trying to stay away from things like that. But again, we just wouldn't have those opportunities in other countries.
Sorry, I'm showing the boat while you're talking. It's just glorious. I mean, and look at the bath. Look at the windows. Like you're looking out on the Nile. Look at the bathtubs with the full views of the Niles and the plunger. And this like stupid gym on the deck, which this is the only stupid Now, I hated this gym on the boat because it's on the top deck. But what we're doing with it is they're doing a blind on one of the walls because it's at one end of the deck. So they're going to have like a blind in that room, in that open thing that has all four sides as glass, but they're going to blind one side so it's private. And so you've got, 3/4 view of the Nile as you're getting a massage, because that's where we're putting the massage therapist is there. So I'm like pretty freaking excited about it. And it's, yeah, pretty amazing, don't you think?
Yeah, it's going to be.
I wish that there. Let me turn off the sound. This, I know I'm just like, but look, I mean, this, I'm rubbing it in y'all's face, but like this boat is just awesome. It really is. And, yeah. Well, you have that room, that one with the giant.
Yeah.
She's in the best room on the boat. And, but yeah, I'm just really excited about it. I had to cancel my trip to Rome. We just had too much going on earlier, and it was just insane, trying to clear up so many messes. So basically, that's our vacation. I mean, we're going to Cyprus earlier, trying to figure out where to stay in Cyprus. I mean, I know we want to be on the Greek side because of what is it, Aphrodite? What is Cyprus associated with? I can't freaking remember. I know Brian wants to go there, so I'm going to go there. I sometimes wonder if Britain's cone of power during World War II actually helped the war. It probably did, but here's the thing. Did you hear about it before?
No.
Like it was discussed after the fact. Oh, by the way,
over with.
You know what I mean? And and apparently the invasion didn't happen. You know what I mean? I do think it helped. And whether it did or it didn't, you didn't hear about it beforehand because these people knew their magic. It wasn't performative. It wasn't done for TikTok engagement. It wasn't done for likes. It wasn't done for popularity. It was done to stop the war. It was done to stop Hitler's invasion. It was done for a purpose, as all magic should be done for. Purpose.
Yes, it was for the betterment of everyone involved.
Star Fitch asked, how much is the Nile trip? It is $6,999. It's about $7,000. And if you share a room at 7, or if you go with 2 people, it's like 14. If you take a room by yourself at 7 plus 3,500, so what's that? 10,500.
Yeah.
But I can
Yeah.
tell you, if you've got sticker shock, don't, because I spent 8,000 a person at Abercrombie and Kent, which is one of the top in the world. They did not go to the level of restaurants that we're going to. They didn't go to Khufu's. They did go to that. We stayed at the Marriott Manor House, which has closer views of the pyramids than the place that we're staying at, which is the Hyatt Regency. But I can tell you the Hyatt Regency is much more 5-star. It's much more elegant. Got a much more beautiful grounds. And every one of us has pyramid views. Now they're a little further away, not as close to the pyramid. But that restaurant at the Manor House was very mediocre. We're going to Khufu's, which is a famous, what is it? Sashi Heliopolis, which is one of the top restaurants in the entire Middle East. The boat that we're on is one of the top sailboats on the entire Nile. When I was with Abercrombie and Kent, we were on a cruise ship. It was, like 40 people. It's just not the same. First of all, the cruise ships, the way that the cruise ships dock, you have to walk through multiple cruise ships, to get to the dock. Like, in other words, they all side by side. And if you were staying where you're staying, Shannon, you'd get all the gas from, oh no, it's the front people that get all the gas from the back. Or, you know what I mean? Like, there's all kinds of drama with these cruise ships that you don't get with a sailboat. These sailboats do not have engines. If there's no wind, there's a tugboat that tugs it, like, that's like, hundreds of feet in front of you, so you don't see it or hear it or experience the fuel. This is how the pharaohs and the priesthoods would travel. We're on the dahabeah, what do you call it? It's called the dahabeah, the sailboat. And then
that's what they're called. Yeah.
This wealthy guy, Kazazian, did these 2 boats. And they're the only ones that are nicer than this one that I saw, but they were much more expensive, and every piece of fabric was white. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to do that because it's I'm too messy, and we're a lot of witches drinking wine. I haven't seen the Grand Egyptian Museum yet, and we've tailored this in such a way that it's not a death march. Like, we're not doing 2 temples a day. There is somewhere like the Valley of the Kings where there's more than one thing, but we are definitely, tailoring this as a combination vacation exploration type of thing. I am looking to do, this is something I would love to do. I just don't think anybody could afford it. I don't think I could afford it, but I'd love to get like some yacht that, the max is out at 15 people or whatever. And you start in Athens and you go to like Eleusis, you go to the Athens Museum, you maybe take a day trip up to, what the hell is it? Delphi. Once you're done with that, then you get on the cruise, you go to the different islands with ruins and what have you, maybe Santorini, and then you end at, like, there's places in Turkey, in islands and what have you, and then end at the Temple of Hecate in Lagina. You know what I mean? But imagine what like an Aegean Sea magical journey type of thing. And now that I'm saying it, I can't wait to see if Fiona does it. Yeah, hers are women only, so it doesn't matter. I'm so excited for the Egyptian thing, and maybe do other stuff. Now that I have the sort of template idea built for it, but I just don't know where I mean, I loved Ireland, and we stayed in a different place every night in Ireland. It was a bit crazy, but I don't know that I would do it that way again with people. I might narrow where we go. There was a stone circle. I think it was in sort of central Ireland towards the south as we were heading north from Kinsale towards, where is it? Bridget, Kildare, I think it is. And there was this wonderful stone circle, and there was this guy that managed the stone circle. And he, I wanted to support him. He had a little shack, so I bought all his little guidebooks and things, because he's a really nice old man. So he comes over as we're leaving, and he knocks on the window, and he's like, "Hello, Christian. Do you like milk?" So we apparently, has cows that milk, and he's a supplier for, milk people or whatever. So I go over, he's got this giant tank of milk with like bugs in it, and I'm like, I don't want to know how the sausage is made. I don't want to know how the sausage is made. But it was really, fantastic experience, Ireland. Wales is definitely a place that'd be interesting. I just, magic is just decadent now. Too much pomp and protection. I don't know if I'd say protection. Maybe projection. Definitely a lot of pomp. It has become very. Oh, I love Snowdonia. There's this little town called Bedgellert in Snowdonia Mountains that's just like up in the mountain. It's like a fairy tale little village. So incredible. I would love to. I miss. I think Wales. I think of places I could actually retire. It would be North Wales, or maybe Ireland doesn't have a lot of money for preservation, so they don't have the quaintness. Like the landscape is beautiful, but you don't find the same level of architecture that you find in merry old England and Cotswolds and the areas of Wales or St. John and the Virgin Islands or what have you. I went to several Kildare places, and my favorite, there's one in Western, it's the Well of Brigid or whatever it's called. It's in, it's not in Kildare, it's like a grotto of some kind. And what was interesting is when I went there in 2015, it was 16, I think. And I had this epiphany of the goddess. It was when I really decided I had to be initiated. And it was very emotional. And what I didn't know was that my friend Heather McDonald, was one of the readers at Hex. She had gone there a few years before me, and she still had the prayer card from my mother's services and left the prayer card in the grotto on the shelf with all the candles and pictures and notes and messages to the dead and the fairies and Brigid and all this that were all lined along the grotto, the walls of this grotto. And so when I went to this grotto, my mother's prayer card was there, and I had no idea. So it was just such a magical connection. This is one in Western Ireland. What is the?
We're at 2 minutes.
We need to get a topic before, like the day before for next. What do we want to talk about?
I won't be here next week.
Why?
I'll be at Burning Man.
Oh. Well, we might postpone the show. I'd like to get, if somebody is friends with Michelle Belanger, or, I'm sure she won't come on now, but if somebody's friends with Michelle Belanger, like, I would love to get these people on. But anyway, thank you all for joining us in her.
Thanks, Mary. I am excited to report back to all of you about how it went. It's looking like the weather is going to be pretty decent this year, so I don't think we're going to have a mud man or anything this year.
What is it exactly?
Well, Burning Man, a lot of people mistake it for a music festival, and it is not. It is literally an art festival. You go out in the middle of the desert and we build a city, and we are totally self-sufficient. There's no vendors, no money is exchanged for anything. Everything that you need to survive out there, you have to bring yourself.
What if you're hungry?
Well, we feed each other. We bring our own food, and it.
What if somebody there's enough? I mean, are there ever like home?
Yeah, we help each other. It's literally a social experiment that shows how we could survive without money.
You do you. So they don't have like 5-star tents. Like I'd want one of those Harry Potter tents that looks like a shitty little tent from REI, and all of a sudden it's got like a 20-room mansion, all in there.
Whatever you dwell in is what you bring.
Oh, I can just see myself in those shitty tents. This is Ositrova, and I prefer Petrosium beluga. And your shit burned. With that said, good night, everyone. Let us see you.
Bye, everybody. I'll see you soon.
Bye.